This is April Jensen from the ProSculpt Clay Company, and these are some of the dolls that you can make with polymer clay.
Hi guys, just wanted to show you our next project with our summer sculpting series. This is Stitch from the movie Lilo and Stitch. He turned out really cute and I'll show you how I did it. He's a pretty simple sculpt, but that face has a whole lot of detail in it, and it's best to see how you do it step by step. So let's get started. So what I did first is make a wire armature out of this aluminum wire. That's just an armature wire. It's probably about, I'd say an 18 gauge or something like that. Anyway, I just have two pieces that I use for the arms and legs in combination, and then one piece that ends up being the head. And just wrap them together, and then I'm going to use some of this foil tape, which is one of my favorite things to use, to get that really nice and secure so that armature is not going to be going anywhere. And then next I'm going to get some aluminum foil itself, take just a square of it and kind of gently crumple it down. Now I'm being mindful to kind of give a bit of a pot belly in front and a little bottom and back so we can start moving to that sketch shape right away. So I'm going to add a little bit more foil, and then I can seal this foil in with some more of that foil tape. So now I've got my armature ready to go, and then the next step is to layer on some clay. Now I've got a bunch of clay that is kind of like old clay from workshops and such, or just from my sculpting, that I just ground it all up so it'd be one uniform color, mixed it together, and then that's what I'm using to kind of save on my colored clay and such. Because this is actually just my dirty clay that I'm using. Since it was going to be hidden underneath, it doesn't really matter what the clay is going to look like. It actually turned out to be some pretty nice looking clay anyway. So I'm just getting this all smoothed out, and then I'm going to bake this piece so it will be a nice hard surface underneath, so when we put the next layer of blue clay over it, it's going to be really nice and easy to do. Now I'm also going to put a head on him. We're just making a nice armature out of foil and then doing the same thing, covering it with the flesh colored clay. When I taught the class, I found out it was easier with the kids to have the head be separate at first, and so we ended up doing that way, but both ways work. The main thing is that some of the clay that's colored is a bit softer, so it's smart to bake often when you can bake the layer underneath so it doesn't get too squishy for you. But this is how I did the armature. I left the front of the face kind of flat so we'll have plenty of space to add in more of the blue clay, because we'll need to cut into it so we can make an open mouth. So let's get this little guy in the oven, let it cool, and then we'll start in with the blue clay. Now I made these colors just kind of by tinting some of the Pro Sculpt I had as well. And I think most of these colors are Sculpey, though. I would have preferred to use some Primo, as it's a little bit stronger for colored clay, or even Fimo. But it worked for our purposes, and we just baked the piece really well. So I just used some pancakes, these little flattened pancake shapes, and just kind of smooth it around the doll till we get all of this in place. Now again, when I taught the class, after this stage, when I got this part all in place that's blue, I went ahead and baked it. That way that stomach doesn't get bothered when I'm moving on to the other parts of it and accidentally put my fingers back in place. Especially with it being summertime, you want to be careful to really not touch the clay much, and if you do have a chance to bake it, go ahead and do it. So I would have baked him right there if I were to do it again. But however, we'll just move on to the head. Each time you make a doll, you learn new tricks, and especially when you're making it for a class, it's nice to go through the process a lot and then find out what works out best for you. Now, as soon as we get this head in a nice basic ball shape, we'll be on to the fun part. We'll start to add these colors. I just tinted polymer clay, just some of the Pro Sculpt that I had, and I just kind of eyeballed it what these colors were by looking at a picture sketch online. So, wish I could give you the exact colors, but they were just some random old clay that I had in my colored clay box for my kids, and so I rated that and got the colors that I needed. But it's pretty easy to go ahead and just compare to what you need. Okay, so I was going to do the mouth, and then I realized, wait, the mouth actually needs to be red, and then the tongue's going to be pink, so there we go. Got it right. And so I put that little pancake in there, but it's so thin, and the clay was pretty stretchy and soft, so I just stuck it in there and then just smeared it around with the tool to kind of just blend it so the whole place was covered with red. And then next we'll go ahead and reuse that little piece of pink I had and turn it into a cute little tongue. All I did was roll it into a little ball and then more into like a little rice shape, and then flattened it a little bit and then just dabbed it with my wooden tool on the flat end to give that little indent in the tongue. Then I just made a cute little snake out of the aqua colored clay to be his bottom lip, though I'm going to go back and it's actually his full lip and chin that's the aqua colored, and I didn't notice that at first, so I just did that one little strand of clay. But I go back and fix that later. And now next I'm putting in the teeth. I had just taken that little silicone tool and just poked a little hole. 4 little holes for these teeth to kind of go into, and then once I'm putting them in, I'm just using that same soft tip silicone tool. It's a clay shaper basically, to kind of help push those teeth in there well. So I just am repeating it for all of these teeth. The only thing with this face, I wish I'd made it kind of a little bit more football shape in front, because I end up thinking his face is a little bit flat. But I make adjustments later, and I'll show you what I did to take care of that. But going back and doing it again, I would have just made his face just kind of bow out a little bit in front, so it had a little bit more dimension to it. But next I'm just making some holes again, and now taking my white clay and just dabbing in some more teeth. And then I'll take my tool, press those teeth in better, and then kind of shape that mouth a little bit because it got a little bit distorted. Next I'm going to make a space to stick the nose, and I'm using our it's the darkest blue color for the nose and for the claws, and I guess on the toes they're kind of like claws that he's got down there too. We use this very dark blue, kind of more like a navy. So just giving his face some little adjustments. I decided to make the nose a little bit bigger and then just kind of go in and actually shape it a little bit. And then he's got these cute little wrinkles on his snout. So I'm just making a few little worms of clay. And then I'm just going to adjust these in place with this same tool that I've been using. Now I'm taking a minute to kind of smooth in his face a little bit more before I add some detail to it. You'll notice down where my thumb is holding it at the belly, I end up having to do a lot more smoothing work. That's why I suggest go ahead and bake it after you've covered the body, so that place is ready to go, and then you can work on the head and all the detail that it entails, because you really need to be able to grip and hold on to this doll as you do it. Alright, so moving on, for his eyes, he's got these little, we called them eye patches in class. It's kind of like this part that goes underneath his eye. Or maybe these are just his eyes. I don't really know what it's an alien creature, so it's kind of hard to say what it is, but he has these cute aqua little eye shapes that, again, it's just a ball that's kind of pinched into more of a football shape and then pressed down onto his face on either side. Now I'm giving him a few little bits of clay for his hair, just rolled some little snakes, and then I'm securing them again with the tool. And then next we're going to grab some bits of black for the pupils. Try to make sure they're the same size. It helps if you roll out, get 2 little balls of clay that you're going to be using, and make sure they're the same size, and then that way you'll have the same amount of clay that you are squishing into the eye shape that you're after. And then we just add a tiny little speck of white for a highlight. It makes them super cute. Look at how that highlight makes such a difference. Now I'm just kind of shaping them so they're a little bit more pointed, like a football. Then just smoothing it all in place. And next getting our little white highlight. If you break the process down into a bunch of steps, it ends up being pretty self-explanatory and mostly easy to do. It just takes a little while and some patience. Here I decided to get that nose going out a little bit further, but I grabbed the wrong color of blue at first to kind of help his snout be out further than what it currently was. I want his face to have a little bit more dimension and not be so round and flat feeling. Oh, it looks like I'm on a slant and he's sliding along right there. Alright, so I'm getting the clay set aside for his ears. I created these two little balls. Then I'm going to be smoothing them out into a kind of a big football shape. Everything's a football this time for some reason. And then just pressing in a tiny, tiny little pink little pancake that's super thin. And this one happened to get a little bit of an air bubble in it, so I went through with my X-Acto knife and just cut that out real quick. So the same thing, it ends up being a bit easier to actually do it on the board. And then you can just take your tool to kind of guide that clay out to the edges. This is about 4 times speed, so just to give you an idea of how quickly this is showing you compared to how long it takes. But, you know, you want to get all this shown for you so you know what to do, but not have it take 4 hours. We did the class with 2 kids, and it was about a 3-hour course, and that worked pretty well. That seemed to be a good amount of time for this project. Now I just used the scissors to cut out the little wear and tear marks that he's got on his ears. He's a bit of a rapscallion and gets himself into trouble a lot, and so it looks like it's showing up in his ears a bit too. So there he is, ready to move on to the next step. Be sure to tune in with me again next time and I'll show you how we finish up this cute doll. Take care and have a great time sculpting.